Imagine a world where fear no longer holds you back, where you face challenges not with anxiety, but with confidence and peace. What if the wisdom of Buddhism, teachings that have guided millions for over 2,500 years, held the secret to breaking free from fear? In today's story, you'll discover 6 profound lessons from the Buddha that will shift your mindset, free you from fear, and transform the way you live. If you're ready to reclaim your power, let's begin this journey together. Lesson 1. The Power of Impermanence. This too shall pass. Have you ever held on to something so tightly, afraid to lose it? A relationship, a job, your youth, or even an idea of who you are? We all do. But the truth is, nothing lasts forever. There was once a young man named Aiden who feared change more than anything. He clung to his routine, his relationships, and his career, terrified of losing what he had worked so hard to build. But one day, life forced his hand. His company downsized, his relationship ended, and he was left staring at an uncertain future. In despair, he visited a Buddhist monastery, seeking guidance. A monk handed him a single leaf and said, "Watch this." Aiden observed as the wind carried the leaf through the air, tumbling effortlessly. It neither resisted nor clung. It simply moved with the wind. "This is life," the monk explained. "Everything changes. Clinging to what must change only causes suffering. But when you accept impermanence, you will find peace." Aiden realized he had been resisting the natural flow of life. His suffering wasn't coming from change itself, but from his refusal to accept it. From that moment on, he stopped fighting the inevitable and started flowing with life, just like the leaf. Key takeaway: everything in life is temporary, including your fears. When you embrace impermanence, you stop resisting change and start moving forward with peace. Lesson 2. Fear is just an illusion. You are not your thoughts. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff. Your heart pounds, your palms sweat. Your mind screams, "Step back." It's dangerous, but is it? You're not falling. You're not in danger. So why does fear feel so real? Because fear is a story your mind tells you. Sophia, an aspiring entrepreneur, had big dreams, but was paralyzed by fear. Every time she thought about starting her own business, her mind whispered, "What if you fail? What if people judge you? What if you're not good enough?" These thoughts felt like reality, but they were just projections, fear disguised as logic. One day, her mentor asked her, "What's stronger, your fear or your desire to succeed?" That question changed everything. She realized fear was not a wall. It was a fog. It only had power if she believed it. She didn't have to wait for fear to disappear. She just had to move through it. And so, despite the fear, she took her first step. And then another. And then another. Key takeaway: fear is an illusion. It's not reality. It's just your mind trying to protect you from discomfort. But growth only happens outside your comfort zone. Face fear, and you'll see it was never real to begin with. Lesson 3. The present moment is your safe haven. Right now, you are okay. Fear lives in 2 places: the past, where regrets and mistakes haunt us; the future, where the unknown fills us with anxiety. But the present is safe. Lucas, a war veteran, suffered from deep anxiety. His mind was a battlefield, constantly replaying past traumas and imagining worst-case scenarios. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't relax. His mind never stopped. Desperate for relief, he turned to meditation. At first, it felt impossible. But one evening, while focusing on his breath, he had a breakthrough. For the first time in years, he was just here. Not in the past, not in the future. Just breathing, just alive. And in that moment he realized, right now, he was safe. That single realization became his anchor. Every time fear surfaced, he reminded himself, right now, I am okay. And slowly, fear lost its power over him. Key takeaway: fear cannot exist in the present moment. If you focus on now, fear disappears. Whenever anxiety arises, take a deep breath and ask yourself, am I okay right now? The answer is almost always yes. Lesson 4. Suffering is universal. You are not alone. Emma, a single mother, felt overwhelmed by fear. She feared failure. She feared letting her child down. She feared she wasn't strong enough. But what weighed on her the most was the belief that no one else could understand her struggle. One day, she found herself at a Buddhist gathering, listening to people share their fears. Fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of not being enough. And suddenly, she realized she wasn't alone. Everyone was fighting their own battles. Fear wasn't a personal weakness, it was a shared human experience. And knowing that lifted her burden. She didn't have to be strong alone. Key takeaway: fear isolates us, but suffering is universal. When you realize that everyone experiences fear, you stop feeling weak and start feeling connected. Lesson 5. Let go of control. Surrender is freedom. Control is an illusion. The harder you try to control everything, the more fear you create. Daniel, a perfectionist, tried to control every aspect of his life. But life had other plans. The more he planned, the more things went wrong, and the more anxious he became. One day, his meditation teacher told him, "Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. But if you hold it gently, it stays." That was the moment Daniel learned to trust life. He stopped gripping so tightly. He let go of needing to control every outcome. And as he did, peace replaced his fear. Key takeaway: fear arises from trying to control the uncontrollable. When you let go, you create space for peace. Lesson 6. Patience is the antidote to fear. Everything happens in its own time. We fear the unknown because we want answers now, but life unfolds at its own pace. Mia, an artist, doubted herself constantly. She feared she wasn't talented enough. She wanted success immediately. But one day, her mentor told her, "A tree doesn't grow overnight. Neither will you." So she embraced patience. Instead of fearing failure, she trusted the process. And years later, when she finally achieved her dreams, she realized it was the journey, not the destination, that transformed her. Key takeaway: be patient with yourself. Fear fades when you trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Final thoughts: fear doesn't have to control you. By embracing impermanence, recognizing fear as an illusion, staying present, connecting with others, letting go of control, and practicing patience, you can transform fear into freedom. You are stronger than your fears. And the life you desire, it's on the other side of them. If this story resonated with you, let us know in the comments. And remember, you have the power to live a fearless life.